Are you keen to explore the underwater life in Australia? Well, I have the best snorkelling sites in Queensland listed in this video today. What's great about the state? Well, of course, it contains the magnificent Great Barrier Reef and provides so many choices when it comes to underwater opportunities. As a local, I've been swimming along the coastline for over 20 years, and you're in good hands with someone who's in the know. Therefore, I have listed some of the sites and gateway towns you'll need to know. This comes complete with a Google pinned map that you can access in the blog post in the description below, which can also help with booking tours. The Great Barrier Reef ecosystem stretches 2,300 kilometres along the coast from Bundaberg to Cape York in the north. It contains over 3,000 individual reefs, 600 continental islands, 300 coral cays and 150 mangroves, and was listed as a UNESCO World Heritage listed area in 1981. So starting off today, in the north we have Cairns, which is your international gateway city in the tropical north and one of the more popular places to find the snorkelling sites. While the actual beach in Cairns is basically a mud flap and not really swimmable, daily tours are leaving from the marina to access the reef and islands. This includes some closer areas like Green Island and Fitzroy Island, or alternatively to the outer reef sites like Milne Reef or Flynn Reef, or Moore Reef where the fixed pontoon is. While these aren't the only areas you can go to, they're certainly the most popular. These tours are either fully serviced on board the boat or catamaran, on purpose-built pontoon platforms, or on islands. Islands will have you snorkelling straight from the beach, easy for kids and fairly shallow, whereas the pontoon and outer reef areas will be deeper. Port Douglas is a remote northern town, about an hour north of Cairns. I'll have a blog post listed in the description on the best ways to get here, but it's also still contained within the Great Barrier Reef and very similar to Cairns. It's well known as a luxury beach town with an ever-popular 4-mile beach lining the coast. Every day there are catamaran boats, sailing boats or smaller vessels that provide tours to snorkel the Great Barrier Reef. As the reef is not that close to the coastline in this section, most of the boats will visit the outer reef sites like Ribbon Reef and Agincourt Reef. Much like Cairns, the Agincourt Reef provides a large pontoon which helps facilitate all the water activities for the tourists, as well as helicopter flights, semi-submarine rides and underwater viewing chambers. So it is possible to see the reef for those that don't want to get wet. As a snorkeler, I do prefer the shallow waters compared to the deeper sections. I really think the deeper waters are better for diving. Shallow areas will allow you to get closer to the underwater life, which is better for my overall experience, videos and photos. It's worth visiting Magnetic Island as it lies only 30 minutes off the coast of Townsville and a great fun day trip from the mainland. The island provides so many different experiences like swimming, animal encounters, World War II forts and hiking. However, there are some good snorkelling sites straight from the beach, so there's no extra costs involved. However, there are guided tours if you feel more comfortable doing that. There are reef sections around Florence Bay and Gowrie Bay in the northeastern sections of Magnetic Island. If you want to do it for free, then you'll just need to bring your own mask and snorkel gear and walk straight off the beach. Alternatively, you can join one of the tours and they'll have equipment provided for you. Airlie Beach is a highlighted destination for snorkelling in Queensland, being your gateway to the Whitsunday Islands and still on the Great Barrier Reef. It can be accessed from the Proserpine Airport, or road tripping along the coast is a popular route, and I'll link a video in the description detailing all the stops to consider. There are literally 74 different islands contained within the Whitsundays, including Hamilton Island, Hayman Island and Daydream Island. Much like Cairns, the actual beach from Airlie isn't swimmable, mostly due to jellyfish, so day trip tours or ferry shuttle services depart daily and will circle the larger resort islands throughout the day. Boats will visit pontoons in the outer reef at Hardy Reef, which is near the famous Heart Island, which is a reef shaped like a heart. Alternatively, it's worth visiting Whitehaven Beach, which is close to other sites like the Teague Reef. I've visited Airlie Beach more than 15 times over the years, and I seem to go to a different snorkelling site each time. I have to admit though, I do favour the inner reef areas than the outer reef pontoon, which does come down to quality of time in the day trip. More importantly, just because it's the outer reef, it doesn't make it better. Other snorkelling sites include Stonehaven Bay, Luncheon Bay at Hook Island, or Cataran Bay at Border Island. The Whitsunday area is a bucket list destination, so you won't want to miss it, and the Scenic Flights make it even better if you pick the right time to do it, so I'll link another blog in the description to help you out with that. What makes this area superb is also visiting Hill Inlet, which is actually the northern end of Whitehaven Beach, and to see the magnificent swirling sands at low tide. Hamilton Island can be accessed from Airlie Beach or with direct flights to the island from Brisbane, Sydney or Melbourne. There are many different accommodation options or choices available on Hamilton Island, and mostly line the water's edge at Cat's Eye Beach. What's great about staying here, as it can knock about 45 minutes to an hour one-way travel time to see the same areas of the Great Barrier Reef compared to leaving from Airlie. It's just more expensive to stay there. Golf buggies are the main mode of transport, or the shuttle bus public transport can get you around too. You can snorkel straight off Cat's Eye Beach for free, although while I've seen plenty of fish, turtles and clams around here, I'm not sure it's as good as taking the tours to the other Whitsunday snorkel sites. Day trips to Lady Musgrave Island leave from Bundaberg or Agnes Waters in central Queensland. While they both go to the same place, they operate separately and on very different tour structures. Either one, you will be exploring the underwater world in the same sites of the lagoon and able to see superb reef systems in the southern area of the Great Barrier Reef. However, if you choose to leave from Bundaberg, you'll access the fixed pontoon, and also diving sites can be seen outside of the lagoon. Turtles are a big favourite here, and it's very common to encounter a few, while some of the bommies will contain beautifully coloured fish and corals. Lady Elliot Island is worth it and still within the southern area of the Great Barrier Reef, but it's only accessed by chartered flights from Bundaberg, Hervey Bay, Redcliffe near Brisbane or Coolangatta on the Gold Coast. Unfortunately, these day trips can be expensive and often too high for a budget-friendly traveller, but it will include use of the resort facilities, snorkel equipment and a glass-bottom boat tour. Plus, you can chill out and swim off the beach yourself. Staying a few nights at the eco-friendly resort might be more cost-effective and more time for you to enjoy in the water, plus allowing you more time to dive and access other amazing sites. There is a massive reef area that you could spend hours snorkeling around. You'll frequently run into turtles here, and from June to September, the graceful large manta ray. We loved Great Keppel Island, and it can be accessed from Yeppoon. Today, many tourists will visit and stay overnight in the resort for snorkelling, hiking the bushland and hanging out at the white sandy beaches. I must admit that it's one of the more budget-friendly islands, but the sunset location at the bar is very hard to miss. As for snorkelling, you can do this on your own straight off the beach, and we did manage to see some cool things from Monkey Beach. But both Matt and I will need to go back again one day, as I've heard there's some better sites like Shelving Beach or some of the other snorkelling sites that they run tours to. The ferries leave Yeppoon a couple of times a day and takes about 40 minutes to get there, and a great family-friendly day out. Your closest airport to here would be Rockhampton, otherwise road tripping along the coast would be my favourite way. As we venture into the southern areas of Queensland, we start to exit the official Great Barrier Reef sites, but it doesn't mean you can't see some cool things. For us, these waters off the coast of Brisbane is where we've both dived more than 100 times, and there is still the opportunity to see heaps of underwater life when you're snorkelling. Moreton Island lies off the coast of Brisbane and is the third largest sand island in the world. You'll find both day tours dropping you at the island and fully guided tours leaving from Brisbane, along with the tourists staying overnight in the resort. There are about 15 shipwrecks called the Tangalooma Wrecks, which are about 10 minutes swim off the beach, or you can access them by boat. However, while you can still access from the actual Tangalooma Island resort, it's still a 30 to 40 minute one-way walk from the accommodation. The Amity Point snorkelling site is located on North Stradbroke Island, about 45 minutes from Brisbane. More importantly, this is the second largest sand island in the world, coming short of Fraser Island near Hervey Bay. We've used it as both a snorkelling and a dive site, which you can explore on a day trip or staying on the island. You could cross paths with an octopus, moray eels, stingrays, nudibranch, wobbegong sharks, parrotfish, flathead and stonefish. Obviously, this area can be explored without a tour and supplying your own equipment, but there are some dive shops that run tours from Brisbane to visit here. Ferries will leave from Cleveland in Brisbane almost 10 times a day, and there are plenty of places to stay on the island. So when is the best time to snorkel in Queensland? Well, due to the tropical climate, you can snorkel all year round in Queensland. However, the southern areas will be on the cooler side and probably more comfortable with a wetsuit. Anything from Airlie Beach to Port Douglas will be fine to snorkel in the winter time, which is from June to August, and around 22 degrees Celsius in the water. This means you might get a little cold after an hour in the water. However, this area in the summertime from November to March is common for jellyfish and will require you wearing one of those sexy lycra stinger suits. So what are the best snorkeling sites in Queensland? Well, out of my list provided today, I would have to say that my favourite places would be Lady Musgrave Island, Lady Elliot Island in the southern Great Barrier Reef, Moreton Island or the Tangalooma Wrecks from Brisbane, Green Island from Cairns and Great Keppel from Yeppoon for those on a tight budget, and Agincourt Reef from Port Douglas for the deeper waters. However, if you're trying to get a few of these sites ticked off on your list, then please watch the video here on the best spots to road trip between Brisbane and Cairns and make the most out of your journey. Otherwise, thanks a bunch for watching today's video, guys, and I will see you for the next one.